Build cars, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Look at this thing. You can't even get close to it without feeling like a rat has peed on you. Man, 10 years in a storage building, but hey, the price was right and the guy said all the parts were there inside of it. So this week, we're going to start to go through inventory, look at, and I'm going to try to help give some insight in why I do what I do when I'm picking out and getting going on one of these kind of projects. I mean, this is somebody's dream, somebody's nightmare, but it was cheap.
Hey guys, welcome to the YouTube channel. Check this thing out. It's quite a project. I have an old saying, got it from an author named Patrick McManus. Never sniff a gift fish. And yeah, that's kind of what we got going here, guys. It's pretty cool, but oh my goodness, where do you even begin? So Jeep Wagoneer, right? That's what we're working with here today.
I'll have you and you dumping all that dirt up. Oh no!
Wearing the dirt. Man, some of this is so delicate.
I know. It's like, oh my goodness.
So here we are, first step, kind of pulling everything out of the Jeep and gonna clean it out. This thing's been sitting in a storage for about 10 years. Unfortunately, I did not take my GoPro when I went with the trailer to go pull it out, but this thing had all kinds of stuff stashed in it, and it was wrapped with shrink wrap. So yeah, that held a little moisture up against the sheet metal. The thing's got some weird discolorations going on it, but we don't care. We're going to take all that off and do body work and everything to it later anyway. The beginning of the process here, as we're pulling stuff, we're just setting it out on the floor in front of it, and then we go back through and kind of start grouping pieces together, put all the stainless together for the outside around the window trim stuff, and then the roof rack pieces, the door panels, and then the interior trim pieces as well. And try to just, as I'm pulling it out, get stuff sort of put in place. And man, there's a bunch of it. These Wagoneers were really dolled up back in the day with all the trim around the windows and everything. So when you start that project, that's something, if you're starting out with a disassembled vehicle like this, I definitely suggest you do that first thing. That way you know what you've got going into it and what you might have to be searching for.
All right, so we got parts pulled out, stuff laying somewhat organized, try to get things so we've got paired up. We know, hey, I've got two of these, and one of these, and I need to find this, and oh my gosh, that looks ancient, and yeah, AMC, that could be a problem. So lots of buckets of stuff, and wow, it's going to take a minute to figure it all out. I mean, this baby was super nice. You can tell that by the way it was wired up with some old patch cords for internet stuff. Yeah, so lots going on. Set the core support back on it just so you can get that old historic look. It's kind of cool that even up into the 80s they were still carrying this this same core support setup in there. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, this is the longest running body style of any American manufactured vehicle. It went from 1963 all the way to like 88 or 91, something like that, with no major changes. We did pop the back seat in it. I start looking as I'm doing these big projects for things that I can do easy that make me feel better, and putting the back seat in makes me feel better. Look at these dang hinges, guys. That's all cast iron, and it all is kind of there. So we put that on. I made sure the threads were clean, and then we put the tailgate on it just so we could see it. This is not the original tailgate to it, but somebody said it was kind of special because it had a little windshield washer deal here. I know I do have a piece of glass that has the defroster in it. And yeah, I just put it on there just to make sure that it would open and close. And you know, I haven't tried to make it fit yet or anything. I did notice it's cracked all the way through here. I'm guessing that's probably a popular place for it to crack. And then the guy that I got it from, he did save both halves of a two-piece headliner, and the board's not in bad shape, so that's good. And then yeah, everything else though is kind of opened up, empty. We're looking at it. So I just like to get it all spilled out and see what you've got. This isn't just a normal small little project or a running driving project car that you bought, but this, I would call this a basket case. It's in 1,000,000 pieces, no drivetrain in it. It does have the front and rear axle and the steering box and that steering column. I did get 2 steering columns. I got 2 tailgates. I got a few other parts and pieces, some different miscellaneous trim stuff. Hey, there's the bushings and the bolts for the core support right there. See, so that's how you kind of do this, is you just start looking and discovering things. All right, so you can see by the way it is, we went ahead, we bolted in the tailgate. We got all of the HEPA virus or pantavirus or whatever's in this thing out of it. We did bolt, no, the back seat's not bolted in, it's just sitting in, but it looks pretty good in there. But anyway, it's pretty cool. I found a whole bag full of seatbelt parts. Not all the strikers are in it, but I'm sure if we keep searching, we might be able to find them. That's keeping that from happening. But like, look, the floors aren't too bad. They've got a little rust, probably from leaking windows or something. The bottoms of the doors aren't bad. I mean, you can always tell that by looking at the seam down here, what kind of rust and stuff you've got. And these are, by golly, they're pretty decent, so that's a good thing. Rockers are all solid on it. There's, you know, look at the body mounts are even still there. The mud's still on it. All of it is looking halfway decent. So I'm not too scared of this, guys. I think we'll be able to, like, that looks like a good power washing away. And all of this is not bad at all. It's already been sanded and sprayed with just some aerosol stuff. I think that's what the guy was using, but I don't care. You can use whatever you want. Door gaps aren't great, but hey, it's a Jeep, right? So not the best gaps in the world on a Jeep. I like it's got the old man saw blades on it. You gotta have those. I was just happy that all the tires had air in them, man, because that's a really common thing. When you buy a parts vehicle, you end up with no tires or flat tires. Look at this. So the next thing I'll do here is I'll start grouping the stainless, putting it together, figuring out how much of it I've got, what kind of shape it's all in. These little deals here, these are the interior trim for the quarter windows. We got that. Have some vinyl stuff there. Who knows where that went. You know, we just kind of tried to group everything 2 to 2. I think that looks like a Ford window motor, but hey, AMC used stuff from GM, Chrysler, and Ford, so who knows? And we got all of this stuff here. The other sun visor is on top of the vehicle because it had a mirror on it. And we just start trying to, you know, these two match. They have this carpet, that carpet, 2 pieces there, so probably have most of the carpet for the inside. I think we're not in terrible shape, so we'll just keep going. I do have a couple of old door panels over here. I think this might be an extra, not sure. Like, I'm not inventory checking and stuff off yet, but like here's a short piece of stainless that doesn't belong over here. This is all roof rack pieces there, and the window guide or channel for the back glass. This tailgate still has the glass in it. It has a Wagoneer on there, and those two pieces, which that one's pretty crappy, that one's only semi-crappy. AMC Jeep emblem there. I think this was back in their Renault years, so it may not have been the, I don't know. But all the hardware and stuff still on that tailgate, and it's missing off the other one. Yeah, so I just keep doing this kind of stuff. You know, here's another piece of this trim, and these two look kind of similar together. I don't know if it's supposed to have wood grain or, oh no, that's, oh my gosh, that's 40-year-old masking tape. Looks like maybe a hood prop or a spring for the tailgate to make it not slam down and mash you. I think these went on the inside on the carpet, but I'm not sure. This stuff here's trim for around that iconic back opening. There's 4 pieces of it here, so that's good. We've got some extra stuff here and there. The owner said he had pulled several of these apart to get trim and things for them. So I'm hoping that will be good, and I'll be able to have enough to build this one out of all these parts. Look at that driver's seat, guys. Look at that. I think the rats were after her actually, and then the carpet over here, I'm not sure. Yeah. Anyway, it's just the way it goes when we get into the beginning of the project. Here's the fun stuff, inheriting somebody else's project. Why use paper or take that tape off anytime soon? Here's a common thing. You get a project and you inherit all of the bucket of parts with it. Yeah. What is that? Oh, hey. Yeah, at least the guy was taking stuff off and putting it somewhere. Oh, here we are. They're all accounted for. We've got the 2 wing windows here, one even without tape, one set without tape. The other side, lots of old tape to peel off. Yuck. Yeah, that's what happens when you have a dang cat that lives in your shop. They're always up here messing with you all the dang time. Anyway, we're trying to peel all this masking tape off of these windows before I put them into dry storage, because although I want to jump on this project, dive right in and do stuff, got too many things in front of it to do that. I was hoping to put together a video for you guys and just kind of lead you along into how to inventory. Check it out, see what all you have there for the project that you're getting ready to start. This Wagoneer, I would consider it a basket case, but you have to look past that. You know, there's no giant rust holes in it. The frame's in nice shape. Just by looking at those body mounts, we could see they're not all rotted out and everything. So, hey, we're going to give it a go. We'll just keep you updated on the parts acquisition and everything. Trying to plan this out. It's probably a year from even really getting serious about putting it together. I will do metal work and get it in primer at least, so it doesn't have so much bare metal on it. But that's kind of where we're going to leave the video, guys. Yeah, pick the car that you want to build, find what you can afford, and then really look at what's there and what you want it to be in the end. And hey, it'll be great. just get out in the shop and build something, right? So you guys take it easy. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. All right, so here we are back looking at the old basket case Jeep. And yeah, kind of changed a little bit. We put some pieces on there. The parts pile here has shrunk a great deal. What I did was started grouping everything together. All the stainless trims on the roof of it. We're getting ready to take all that stainless and put it up for a while. You do want, as you're going through and you're looking, if you really care, like you might want to catalog pieces that you should be looking for at a swap meet or something like that. Then I have boxes, plastic totes. I've gone through and organized stuff so that I have things bagged with screws in there that I know will work. It's just kind of a process, this whole thing. You can be as intricate or as blown out there as you want to be with it. I like to kind of know what to expect, because it may be 6 months before we're ready to grab any of that stuff and put it back on here. You know, your projects are, it's totally up to you how you do them, because it is your project. But I like to know that everything's going to fit. Like I pull this fender out and put it on, and it's got some holes here where they had a big dent and screwed that up, and then the grill doesn't really want to fit on this side. You can see this side over here, it's like much nicer how it lines up. And this fender doesn't have all the bolts in it, but it's got most of them. I wanted to make sure our gaps worked. There weren't any strikers in the doors, so I rounded them up and put them in to make sure my door latches would work right and everything just kind of functions. That way you have a good start. We're getting ready to pull the front seat out, and then we're gonna yank this nasty rat pee carpet out and go from there. I've also taken bolts and just kind of started organizing, because when you start bolting those body panels on, man, you need a lot of fasteners, and all of it is here. It's just very, very much unorganized. So a little bit of organization, and it'll make life much, much easier. My preferred way is every door gets its own big tote with a small, like Plano tackle box drawer for the individual screws and stuff, because some of those big jobs you may have it apart for 3 years. Oh yeah, well, you know, if you're gonna use tape on the whole window, at least use good tape. This is pretty pathetic, right? One little piece at a time. The only thing I can say is I got rid of my cat by sticking the tape on her. She didn't think that was cool. So sorry, cat, but the work has to go on, you know.